Quick spoiler warning, this video contains content from Season 4 of Invincible. If you're not caught up, you've been warned. Everyone thinks VILTRUM's greatest threat is one of its own. Thetis, the first to rebel. Mark, the future they never saw coming. Or Nolan, the one who broke away. Because that's the story that makes sense, right? VILTRUM should fall from the inside. From a son rejecting the Empire. Or a soldier turning on the system. Or a crack in the foundation. But that only works if VILTRUM can be destroyed by something that still fights the same way VILTRUM expects. But let's be real, the hold VILTRUM had on the galaxy was never going to be broken by another VILTRUMite. It was always going to fall to something built to beat them differently. VILTRUM doesn't win wars with strategy. It doesn't need alliances. It doesn't depend on technology. It wins by force, domination. If you're stronger than everything standing in your way, you don't need anything else. That idea shaped the entire empire, its conquests, its expansions, and even its people. The weak were erased, and the strong were hardened. And over time, they turned themselves into living weapons. And for a long time, it worked, because almost nothing in the universe could stand against them physically. But that system has one fatal flaw. It only works against problems you can overpower. Alan isn't just another alien species. He's the result of a species that already lost to VILTRUM, the Unopans. A race nearly wiped out by VILTRUM's ruthless expansion, and instead of trying to rebuild normally, they did something else. They created Alan, through experimentation and controlled breeding, trying to produce a being that could survive what they couldn't. And Alan was the only success. Not perfect, or immediately stronger than a VILTRUMite, but something far more important. He could endure. And that changes the entire equation, because Alan wasn't built to dominate. He was built to fight the strongest species in the galaxy. The VILTRUMites represent perfection, refined strength, maximum efficiency, near invulnerability. But their growth has limits. Combat makes them more dangerous, but it never rewrites their bodies the way it does for Alan. Every time he's pushed to the brink, his body doesn't just recover. It evolves, stronger than before, more durable, and far more resistant to what nearly killed him. That's not training, it's reactive evolution. And that creates a fundamental mismatch, because you can't overwhelm something that keeps coming back better than before. VILTRUMites win by dominating their opponents. Alan survives by becoming harder to kill. And over time, the gap closes. And Alan isn't fighting alone. He's part of something the VILTRUM Empire fully underestimates. The Coalition of Planets. An organized resistance built for one purpose, to stop VILTRUM's expansion. The Coalition goes against everything VILTRUM is prepared to handle, because VILTRUMites don't unite or coordinate, they conquer. It's as simple as that. But the Coalition does the exact opposite. They gather intelligence, share information, and play the long game. And Alan is right at the center of it. Not just as a soldier, but as a scout, an evaluator, someone who studies threats instead of just smashing through them. Although, he can do that too when the time calls for it. That's the exact kind of threat VILTRUM was never designed to handle. Because once a force is understood, it stops feeling While Mark changes, Nolan breaks. But Mark was never shaped by VILTRUM in the first place. He was born and raised on Earth. His instincts were never fully theirs. Alan is different. He comes from a species that already learned VILTRUM couldn't be matched head-on, so he doesn't approach them directly. He approaches them like a problem that has to be solved. That difference matters, because Mark resists VILTRUM, but Alan is built to counter it. VILTRUM's strength comes from consistency, overwhelming force, repeated success, and predictable dominance. But Alan introduces instability. Every encounter with him makes him harder to kill. Every failure makes him more dangerous. And every piece of information feeds into a system designed to dominate VILTRUM. That's when the shift happens. VILTRUM stops being untouchable. Not because they're weaker, but because they're finally being fought in a way they don't understand. And don't get me wrong, Alan isn't the strongest, but that was never his role in the story. He's the answer to VILTRUM. a being created by a species that already experienced their domination and adapted because of it. He represents something VILTRUM never even dreamed of, a threat that learns faster than it loses, a threat that evolves faster than it can be destroyed, and a system that doesn't rely on strength to win. VILTRUM was built to dominate everything in front of it, and for most of its existence, that was enough. But eventually you run into something you just can't overpower. Something that adapts, survives, and learns from every loss. Alan isn't just another fighter in the war. He's proof that VILTRUM's way of winning has a limit. And once that limit's reached, it's not strength that decides the outcome. It's who can evolve first. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe, and suggest new characters you want to see in future videos. Peace.